Want to know why Representative Ilhan Omar's comments about 9/11 are so infuriating? Most people get it already and find what she said sickening, but in case you don't, here's Exhibit A. Meet retired FDNY Deputy Fire Chief Jim Riches, who lost a son in the 9/11 terrorist attacks. For Jim, the most horrific terror attack on mainland U.S. soil in the history of our country was a whole lot more than just some people did something. Which of course is all Ilhan Omar can bring herself to say about the day. So dismissive. So arrogant. Quite frankly, so anti-American. Yet she sits in Congress? And even more than that, she sits on the Foreign Relations Committee? Are you kidding me? I'd love to see what someone like George Washington would think if he came back and saw all of this. I think he's rolling over in his grave. Take a look. Here's more on the story from the NY Post. The father of an FDNY firefighter slain on September 11 slammed Representative Ilhan Omar Tuesday, saying she owes him an apology for describing the terrorist attack as some people did something. Jim Riches made the statement at the annual GOP gala at the Grand Hyatt Hotel on Midtown Manhattan. He also blasted New York Democratic lawmakers who refused to condemn the freshman congresswoman's statement. They can't deal with reality. Schumer, Nadler, all the New York politicians were quiet. They didn't say one thing, he said. I did nothing wrong, he added. She, Ilhan Omar, owes us an apology and we are going to get it. Riches, who wrote a seething op-ed for the Post after Omar's remarks, also said he supported President Trump's Twitter video that interwove video of Omar's remarks and footage that showed the terrorist attack. He told it like it was that is what happened that day. Riches said of Trump's tweet, "Donald Trump is 100% right." Ilhan Omar dismissively described 9/11, saying some people did something. Deputy Chief Jim Riches lost his son incorrectly says, until you realize the importance of 9/11 as the worst day in American history. I call for your removal from Congress. https://t.co/gxvoifaloon, Kayleigh McEnany, at Kayleigh McEnany, April 11, 2019. Sign the petition, down arrow, and from the Daily Mail. The father of a New York firefighter who died on September 11 has again demanded an apology from Representative Ilhan Omar after she described the terrorist attacks as some people did something. Jim Riches, whose son Jimmy was one of around 3,000 Americans killed during the attack in New York City, made the comments at the annual GOP gala in Manhattan on Tuesday evening. She, Ilhan Omar, owes us an apology and we are going to get it, he said, adding that President Trump was 100% right for tweeting a soundbite of Omar's comments interwoven with footage from 9/11. Retired Deputy Chief, New York City Fire Department Jim Riches, pictured, has demanded an apology from Ilhan Omar after she described 9/11 as some people did something. He told it like it was that is what happened that day, Riches said of the video. Earlier this month a New York man was arrested and charged after referring to Omar as a terrorist and threatening to put a bullet through her skull during a phone call to her office. And Omar has been subjected to further threats and harassment since Trump's tweet last Friday, which only showed part of her speech to the Council on American Islamic Relations, CAIR. The Minnesota congresswoman has said that, in context, she was making the point about how Muslims have been increasingly vilified and targeted in the wake of the 9/11. Omar, right, argues her comments were taken out of context as she was making a wider point that all Muslims have paid for the acts of the 9/11 terrorists. It also emerged that George W. Bush had used similar language to describe the attacks at the time. For too long we have lived with the discomfort of being a second-class citizen, and frankly, I'm tired of it, and every single Muslim in this country should be tired of it, she said on March 23. CAIR was founded after 9/11 because they recognized that some people did something, and that all of us were starting to lose access to our civil liberties. One of these civil liberties is President Trump's Muslim travel ban, of which Omar was one of the strongest critics. Trump may not have gotten his border wall, but he made an invisible wall keeping out people around the world based solely on their religion, she said through tears as she joined other Democratic lawmakers on Capitol Hill last week to push a bill, the No Ban Act, that would repeal the president's executive order. In America, we stand with Israel and Donald Trump. Collision. You might like previous post next let's block ads. Why?